Mayor Mamdani is after Amazon. Look at this.
Special delivery.
It looks like an Amazon delivery.
And it drives like an Amazon delivery.
And it's an Amazon delivery.
Okay.
Amazon is spending millions of dollars to convince you that this isn't an Amazon delivery. But all you have to do is see for yourself.
My
Okay.
uniform says Amazon.
If I don't wear this Amazon branded vest, disciplinary action will be taken against us. The workers' routes and hours are set by Amazon.
Okay.
So why isn't Amazon responsible for these vans?
Because Amazon and other corporations have built a vast network of subcontractors.
That shield them from responsibility.
So what this is about is New York City looking at a business model it doesn't like and threatening to eliminate it. And look at how many jobs this will cost. One analysis says 10,000 jobs. It could be double that. And prices for people are going to go through the roof if this happens. But that's not what anybody in favor of it thinks. Look at this.
They should follow the same rules of every other delivery.
Mayor Mamdani is ramping up his fight with Amazon and some other big corporations, this time over worker protections. Mamdani, in a new social media video, showed his support for the Delivery Protection Act, legislation that would require companies like Amazon to directly hire employees instead of going through subcontractors.
Yeah, they don't want
the
that.
bill's sponsor, Councilwoman Tiffany Caban, explained her push.
People that are in Amazon vests, driving those Amazon vans, delivering Amazon packages, they're saddled with impossible quotas, with vehicles that are falling
That's
apart.
not true.
And then when something inevitably goes wrong because of that, there's an accident, whatever it is, Amazon gets to say,
None of this is true.
not my employee, not my problem, because they use this sham of a subcontracting model to insulate themselves.
Caban's bill would eliminate the current contractor model and place the responsibility of worker safety and employment directly on the distribution company.
It makes it so that whether you are Amazon or some other major delivery partner or carrier, that you are directly employing your workers, that you're...
So they want to eliminate these businesses entirely. And what are their reasons for doing it? They claim that Amazon delivery workers have impossible quotas, which isn't true. They claim the vehicles they drive are falling apart, which also isn't true. They disagree with a certain type of business, and now they want to eliminate it. And if they do that, look what Amazon says. People are going to be looking at a price hike because their operation is going to get more unaffordable to operate. It will likely cost New Yorkers an extra $664 per year just to get the deliveries they're already getting. Go figure, the Teamsters Union is in favor of this Delivery Protection Act.
Caban joined with union members on Long Island on Monday to
Union
rally
members.
for the bill.
It's all about unions.
Back in Harlem, there was a separate protest with critics of the bill, including other delivery workers and subcontractors.
There are an estimated
they're all gonna lose their
3,500
jobs.
last-mile delivery jobs in Harlem and the 4 adjoining council districts alone. Up to 10,000 across this city, held mostly by
crazy.
New Yorkers without a college degree. Jobs you can start on a Monday with no diploma and no car.
I urge you to
Right.
consider that there are thousands of people directly employed by delivery companies whose livelihoods would be severely disrupted by this bill.
The bill was introduced
don't
earlier
care.
this year and got a hearing in April. City Council Speaker Julie Menon has not fallen on either side of the argument. A spokesman
Yeah.
in a statement to New York One said the bill is going through the legislative process.
These are jobs that you can start on a Monday without a college degree, without the permission of the government, and start providing for yourself. What an affront to communism. The fact that people would run to a $1 trillion company like Amazon and get a job and an opportunity from that company. How dare they? How dare Amazon have a system that allows that to happen? The communists in New York are the only ones who are going to be giving out anything to anybody here. They're going to be giving out the free groceries. They're going to be giving out the free apartments. And God forbid you get a job somewhere else. That's wrong. We're going to shut down that job. You must be exploited. You're being brainwashed by that company. You're stupid for taking that job. But don't worry, the communists, we're going to eliminate that job so you don't have it anymore. And then you can just get in line at the free grocery store. That's what they want your job to be, coming to them for pretty much everything. Listen to this.
Dedicated to supporting and advocating for 27,000 local businesses in our beautiful borough, especially that of the micro businesses. I am here on behalf of over 10,000 employees who will be severely impacted by this legislation.
This is terrible.
Especially those in the Bronx whom I have had the opportunity to speak with. There is a strong misconception that the direct service providers mistreat their workers and that this legislation would improve worker safety by ending the DSP model and mandating that companies like Amazon directly employ all workers.
This is crazy.
When preparing these remarks on this bill, I took time to speak to some of those DSP small business owners. These are not faceless operators.
No.
They are entrepreneurs like Randy, Jordan, Ron, Bass, Ty, Emmett, Joe, Chris, and others who have built their business from the ground up.
Yep.
These 8 business owners alone employ over 1,200 people.
And the idea of people living the American dream, doing their own thing, succeeding without the government, oh no, that makes the communists very angry.
These are all immigrants, veterans, first-generation business owners who often started as delivery drivers themselves and worked their way
with
up.
impossible quotas.
They have achieved the American dream and are now working for their employees to do the same. These DSP owners offer tuition reimbursement, workforce development. Many also provide loans, financial mentorship, housing assistance, often helping individuals transition out of shelters. Like many small businesses, offer something that large companies cannot replicate through direct employment. Deeply personal, community-rooted relationships.
These companies offer jobs to people who other industries may not want to hire. They'll offer jobs to people that are getting their foot in the workforce. They'll offer jobs to people that are coming out of a shelter in New York City. They're doing things to help people get skills that the public education system, which is already run by the communists, was never going to give them. And now those very same communists want to eliminate these jobs, which are going to stop people who might someday start their own business or who might leave a job like this after getting some work experience and getting on their feet. It's going to stop them from moving on to something else. This whole thing is bad on so many levels. This is not a job creation initiative. This is not a worker protection initiative. Workers need the ability to pick whatever job they want. If they hate that job, they've got the ability to leave. No one's forcing anyone to work at these places. That's the other crazy thing. And what's going to happen to these jobs? Well, there are 2 options. Option 1, Amazon could go and hire everybody. And then when you get a delivery, just like on your Uber receipt in New York, it's going to have a locality surcharge because it's New York. They got to charge you more money because of all the local laws. Or Amazon could just say, you know what? We're not going to hire anybody, and we're just going to give all of our packages to UPS, FedEx, and the Postal Service. There you go. Have at it. Either way, the service is going to get worse. Either way, people are going to lose their jobs. Either way, things get more expensive. And then what about all the businesses that rely on Amazon deliveries every day to operate smoothly? What's it going to do to those companies? How many other jobs are going to be lost down the line? We have no idea. 10,000? That's the low end of the estimate. Listen to this. But just before we continue, do you owe back taxes or have unfiled returns? Or have you filed every year but just keep owing? Did you retire and suddenly get hit with a tax bill you didn't expect? Or are you a business owner with messy books and a balance you just can't afford? Maybe you pulled money out of your 401k and now the IRS wants its share. However your tax issue started, the outcome is the same. Your balance is not going down. Penalties grow, interest accrues, and many of you are about to owe again this upcoming year with zero plan in place. Stop what you're doing right now and call Tax Network USA. The IRS is not waiting. The IRS is enforcing collections through wage garnishments, bank levies, and property seizures. They can even file for you without your consent. This is where Tax Network USA comes in with over 15 years in business. There hasn't been a tax case they haven't seen or resolved. They specialize in tax controversies and help taxpayers nationwide get back on track by resolving back taxes and unfiled returns once and for all. And whether you owe $10,000 or $10 million, their team has resolved over $1 billion in tax debt. They can do the same for you, but you have to call now. They are offering a free investigation call with the IRS. After that investigation, they put a clear plan in place to get you back on track while resolving your tax problem. This is about using your legal rights to take control before the government sets the terms for you. Do not wait for another IRS letter or frozen bank account. Call 866-686-1735. That's 866-686-1735. Or visit tnusa.com/cash. This link right here. It's also going to be in the description of this video. Now let's get back to the show.
It would also require the smaller companies Amazon uses to get packages to their final destination, called Delivery Service Partners, or DSPs, to be licensed with the city. Matthew Multari, who's been driving for Amazon through its partner facility in Woodside, Queens for about a year and a half, says he supports the legislation.
And Amazon's been squeezing out the DSPs. I know people who have worked at good DSPs that were cut. And over time, Amazon has been putting more and more pressure, giving them lower budgets, increasing their route volumes. So it's just not a sustainable way to build a future for anybody.
Meanwhile, some DSP owners are pushing back against the bill.
What this bill does for me is actually closes and shut down my business. It takes the 150 people that work for me and puts them out of work. This actually impacts everyone's life by passing this bill. While well-intended, the outcome is not good for the city. It's not good for our employees. It's not good for the customers at the end of the day either.
No.
Because it's going to slow down their packages or potentially raise the cost of getting their packages.
The city council says that Amazon would be essentially forced to hire the employees that are going to lose their jobs as a result of the DSPs going away. But there is no level of certainty that they will be rehired. And so what happens first and foremost is a direct impact of the people that we've hired so far losing their job entirely and then being at the mercy of being possibly maybe rehired.
Amazon submitting written testimony for the hearing.
And if you don't like this job, if you don't want to do this job, then don't apply for it. Don't willingly take the job like the gentleman that we have on the screen here and then appear in the mayor's commercial and talk about how awful it is to work there. This whole thing is just a propaganda push from people who think a system is rigged against them when they're working at a job they don't have to take. But listen to the real reason these communists want to take on Amazon. Listen to what they're really mad about. You're going to hear it from the bill's sponsor.
Putting workers out of a job. If the workers decide that they want to organize at a DSP and unionize, Amazon pretty much immediately cuts the contract with that DSP. And we heard we just recently had the bill heard in the city council, and we heard from a former DSP owner, this guy named David, who went out of business because he closed his business. He didn't sell it. He closed it because he said this is completely unsustainable. It was either choose to stay profitable or make my workers unsafe. And he couldn't do both. And he said, well, I'm not going to do this. And so the only people this model really works for are the executives of parent companies like Amazon.
What about the 10,000 people that work at these companies? They've got 5 people out there complaining in a propaganda commercial for the mayor. They've got testimony from somebody who doesn't like the job. They've got testimony from somebody who decided that they didn't want to be in that business anymore, so they closed down. That doesn't speak for every single person. That doesn't mean this entire industry is a scam. And if it's a scam, why aren't the 10,000 people who Amazon's exploiting who are about to lose their jobs, why aren't they happy that these jobs are going to go away? Why aren't they out there thanking the communists? Where are all these people that we're told are negatively affected by something New York relies on every single day? And you heard it right there. This is about organizing. This is about getting people to unionize and take it to these corporations. That's the mission of these communists. They're not trying to protect anybody. They're trying to take down these corporations. They're trying to punish them. And this has nothing to do with jobs or opportunity for anyone except themselves. Listen to this.
This bill is premised on the data that these business owners and their employees would be better off working directly for large corporations. May I finish?
Oh, they don't want her to finish.
Taking away one's freedom to apply and accept a job of their choice is not only wrong on the policy level, but on the moral one.
Right. Let people make their own choices.
I know the supporters of this bill believe they are doing good. I ask council members to more strongly consider the desires of these workers whose livelihood will be impacted by this legislation.
They don't care about that. What they care about is passing something that hurts companies who are their ideological enemies. You've got to understand, Amazon, $1 trillion company, the communists hate that. The fact that they exist is an affront to the communists who don't think any company should ever be worth that much money. Because that right there, it's a self-sustaining job creation engine that allows people to go there and earn what they need to live somewhere, to pay their rent, to buy their own food without the help of the government. And the goal of this is complete government dependence. And we saw just a couple of weeks ago before this announcement from the mayor just how much New York City hates Amazon. Listen to this.
And now they have 2 weeks to get it together or face the consequences.
Oh, consequences.
Today, our administration, through our corporation council, is sending a cease and desist letter to more than 40 online retailers.
The city of New York taking legal action against e-commerce giants over e-bikes and motorized scooters.
Okay. We are speaking about companies like Amazon, Best Buy, Wayfair, some of the largest retailers in the country.
They hate them for being
and that
large.
they have been operating outside of the bounds of the law is something of immense concern.
How?
Mayor Mamdani and New York State Attorney General Letitia James announcing a crackdown on 42 online retailers Wednesday at City Hall. This just steps away and a week after 17-year-old...
It has to do with e-bikes. So you have people in New York who exist in a justice system that has zero consequences for lawless behavior. And what are they doing? They're buying illegal e-bikes and they're riding them on sidewalks and in bike lanes in an unsafe manner at speeds that are in violation of the law. And this is all Amazon's fault. Amazon is the reason for this, not the criminals committing crimes using some of these same devices in snatch and grab robberies. Oh no, this is all Amazon's fault. So the city, what do? They get out there and they thump their chest and they say, we're coming after Amazon. It's Amazon, a $1 trillion company selling these illegal products to criminals who didn't know any better and just bought them for some reason and did things illegal. We need to punish Amazon, the $1 trillion company that has a system that employs people outside of them. Go figure.
As of this week, there are 34 council members who support the legislation, which is a supermajority of the council.
So it's going to pass.
This is just the culmination of a groundswell of support as it is.
What do you mean?
We have a large coalition. It's workers, it's street safety folks, it's environmental protection folks, and now we have the full weight of the administration behind us too.
Kelly Mena,
I don't see that. I see
of the council.
I see a coalition of regular people who want their job to exist and don't want this to pass. And on the other side of that, who do the politicians say their coalition's made up of? People that are in a union that donate to the Democrats and the socialists. This is not a coalition. This is manufactured, bought, and paid for support. This is not some grassroots uprising. A union's anything other than a grassroots uprising. These entrenched people with a political interest to take on every corporation and spread their union poison through every business in New York City. I have a feeling that this is going to pass. And what that means, sadly, is that New York will get less affordable. There will be less jobs, less opportunity, and higher costs. And who is this a handout to? This is a handout to FedEx. This is a handout to USPS. This is a handout to the Postal Service. This is a handout to everybody except the little guy who the mayor rolled into office claiming he supported. He said, I'm listening to New Yorkers. I know how tough it is when you go to the grocery store. I know what it's like when you're not earning enough money. I'm here. I'm going to help you. But he's not. He's eliminating the things that actually help people because it's his goal and the goal of New York's entire city council to eliminate capitalism. What do you think about that? I'll see you in the next video.